Do you think that you've been dealt with how you should be as a black woman?
No. And I think that's across the board. I think that's like general knowledge. Everybody. I don't think there's anybody that can pretend that we are. It's impossible. I think even down to the choice of career path I've taken. Just like, I think subconsciously I'm amazing at what I do, but I think subconsciously there's an overwhelming number of black women who do what I do, and there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I think if we take context and we look historically, we have constantly been nurturers of this earth, and I think when you're a nurturer, who in you lot's life, if you're honest, has endured the most from you is your mother.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it continues, and the cycle continues. But I think if we look at, I remember when I was starting my company, and everyone said, "No, make it a charity." Absolutely not. And my reason, so I think me and you had the question. I said because we're always expected to start these charities and these foundations to come and help the UK. If Elizabeth, another white woman, decided to do exactly the same thing as me, and she's paid as a consultant to do exactly the same thing as me, they're paying her as a business. Why do we always start it as a charity?
That's true. I never even thought about it like that.
How many times do you go to a race and equality meeting? What are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? But you've got a consultancy Ltd. You've got a limited business. But with us, we're called in as it's usually a charity or a foundation or a CIC.
Yeah.
I think we lack a certain level of confidence. I think I think women, and I'm not even going to just narrow it to black women. I think I touched on it earlier about roles. I think the moment we understand the real power of what it means to be a woman, we can really know the real power movements that we should be doing. I think if we look at, and I make this statement, the future is female, and I don't mean that in business I mean that in the fact that without us, genuinely, this earth is finished.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking we give birth, because we need both to give birth. Let's not be. But I'm talking in the genuine sense of what God has naturally given each role. What God has bestowed within men, and that makes them fantastic providers, protectors, kings, all the words that we need to use to encapsulate the amazingness that is a man. She's also put things within us as women that make us the most amazing nurturers, life givers, support systems, all those really, really amazing things. And then we battle for the most nonsensical stuff when we already have a power within us. So why are we not just running with that confidence of knowing we're already great, we're already amazing? And when you recognize that you walk into any room and it doesn't matter what you do, it shouldn't matter what you do, because you're a woman. No one can stand next to you and chat in anything. And I think that's where I think we do ourselves a disservice, that self-confidence, that believing in your power and your greatness and whatever your purpose is, and actually don't let no one dumb that down. Walk into that room and know that job is yours, that service is yours, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that marriage is yours, make it what it needs to be.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I also do think there is a difference between how black women and white women are treated in terms of, I see how black women are kind of, it's a lot harder for them to be able to, the doors to be open for them.
I'm glad you said that, because that's why I said black women.
Because I observe it in terms of, let's look at leadership positions, right, in the social care system. As you go up, it gets more white. So it's women dominated now in the social care space, but there's just not as many black women. So even if you say that we're not like this, it still looks like this. Do you get what I'm saying? It's but even pay gaps, even the way black women are received. So sometimes I've heard it. She's quite loud, isn't it? That's not loud. That's called power. And you don't know how to receive that power.
Mm.
So there's cultural things which
It's a barrier.
there's cultural barriers, which is fine, but also we're not being honest about our relationship with each other. If that makes
1,000,000%.
sense.
1,000,000%.
So
Do you know what I'm saying?
my
We're always
stance on it
trying
is
to-
quite what's the word? It's debatable. So I'm very much of the mindset that we're not from here. I'm not British. They're never gonna see me as British. They're never gonna see me as English. They're never gonna give me the same rights that they give Kate Middleton.
True.
And I think I've had to get my, and you're you're both completely correct. I do think white women do get treated differently. They do get offered the promotion quicker. They do, because they're very good at, we're very good at voicing what needs to be voiced, because I think we're naturally for justice in anything. So we will speak on what needs to be spoken on.
We're just people.
Yeah, we're just people. So I feel like I had to get myself to a point where I'm just like, UK will never ever give us the rights that we're asking for. They're never going to do it, because we're talking thousands and thousands of years of embedded racism. Some people are racist that they don't even know they're racist. They were raised. They don't even realize they're racist. They were raised. I promise you, I've had a parent.
That's true.
On Christmas Day, I work every Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, came over to see and literally said, "Oh, what do you lot do for Christmas? Oh, do you make chicken and mac and cheese?" I looked at this woman and said, "Do you know, like, but," and that's, sometimes you just got to look at them like you're ignorant. Do you know what I mean? But I think I got myself to a point where I just said, the UK is not where I'm from. And they're never going to accept me, and they're never going to give me everything that I'm asking for. They're not going to give us this level of equality.
You've been able to have an honest reflection.
I've had an honest reflection and
your
said,
relationship with
I
it.
therefore that stops that battle and that pain every day. That literally stops it. And what I switched it and said, what I'm gonna do is, as much as I can, I'm gonna take their money and take it home. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I think you have to get yourself to that point. Otherwise, you're gonna fight forever.
You spoke about that. You spoke about pain. What does that feel like?
It's frustrating. I can be really honest and say it can be really frustrating, because you can look at someone in a job and you just think, you're probably taking home, God knows, and I've wiped the floor with you with your job. But you have to swallow that pain. If you don't get through that pain, that becomes your trauma.
So you eat theirs. But isn't it your trauma anyway?
No, because I'm not from here.
No, but you're still being undermined as a, let's say, human.
Come and meet me in Gambia. No, honestly, and I think I have a very I'm not letting this life, not in this UK.
I'd be careful there. Don't come and meet me.
But do you know what I mean? Because I'm saying, because my thinking
come and
is,
meet me, you're gonna be at the gate like, no.
don't come. But do you know, because for me, I'm very aware that this is a temporary place for me. I'm planning, and I will go home and I will raise my children at home,
vision,
and I will, do you know what I mean? So, and actually, there's nobody in the UK that meet me in Gambia, you've got a better life than me. It's not possible. It's absolutely impossible.
Would you
Just
say
from
that?
my personal freedom.